Welcome back for another video. I went through the 25 biggest FPL YouTube channels and I meticulously wrote down all 375 players they've picked in their teams, their captain, their formation, their chip strategy. So with such a good set of data, what trends can we identify? Who are the best picks in FPL? What's the best chip strategy? There's links to all 25 channels in the description. They make great content. I recommend you check them out. So let's have a look at the YouTube template FPL team. Goalkeepers first. The number one most owned keeper is Kinski, who appears in 14 out of 25 teams, so he's 56% owned. And I'm comparing that to his 18% overall ownership, so that feels like it's a signal when, it's 3 times as much owned. Verbruggen is close second top keeper, 36% compared to 17% overall. And then in third place it's Larmans with 24%, 20% overall. 5 mil, really fair price for him given those opening fixtures, and some of the YouTubers have penciled in a Game Week 4 wildcard. One benefit to that is Man United face Man City that week, so you can hop off the likes of Lammen, Shaw, Maguire, and Mbumo, maybe even Bruno. Plus you've got Chelsea playing Hull home in Game Week 4. That's also a huge opportunity to triple up on Chelsea. We'll have a much clearer picture by then. What's the best Chelsea triple up? For example, we don't know if Rodgers will be good to go from Game Week 1 right now. He might not start the first match, given that he's missed a pre-season tour coming back late from the World Cup. Dubravka is their favourite 4 mil keeper. He does pair nicely with Kinski, because if Kinski were to get injured, you're still guaranteed to have a keeper in your team that will play. He's 24% owned overall though, so he could be prone to a price fall in the opening few game weeks when he doesn't play. Just 12% opting for Raya, last season's top scorer and keeper, but he is the premium pick, the only one at 6 mil and goal. He's also joining up late of course, having won the World Cup, but he didn't play a single minute, so he's looking far likely to start from the get-go. Defenders up next, and the number one pick, pretty unsurprising, it's Mosquera, 64% ownership, compared to 16% overall, so that's exactly 4 times as much ownership. Thomas, an even more extreme difference here, 56% ownership among the FPL YouTubers, just 9% overall, so that's about 6 times as much. And then it's Shaw, Van der Wijk, Maguire, Calafiori, Vardy, Ballard, Aya and Williams. They're all over 20% owned. Just 8%, or 2 managers in total, are opting for Gabriel, who's the second highest price for a defender in FPL history. I mean, he's been called overpriced, and yet he's actually the most owned defender in the game, interestingly. So evidently, they actually did price him well. I think there's going to be points this season where he's extremely popular. All it takes is for a budget gem or two to emerge at the start of the season or maybe later, and that's just going to unlock him as an option. We've got nailed 4 mil starters for all 3 promoted teams, and there's definitely going to be some cheap mids and forwards that excel. There always is. Perhaps the best front 3 will be Haaland paired with 2 of the 6 mil forwards, because we've got Calvert-Lewin, we've got Brobbey, Igor Jesus, Solanke and others. It's increasingly unlikely that Man United sign Hall, so they're likely going to have to look elsewhere if they want to sign a left back to compete with Shaw. There are existing options at Man United, there's Dorgu, Amas, Mazraoui, but none of those are ideal for various reasons. But yeah, if they don't sign someone soon, then Shaw looks safe for the start of the season, only 4.5 mil. Let's move on to midfielders. If this video is useful and you do appreciate the time that went into it, hit subscribe. There's more daily pre-season content coming up to help you out. Actually, let's have a look at a specific YouTuber's team first. FPL Fran, he's got 3 top 10k finishes in the last 4. He makes excellent content, and big congrats to him, he just hit 50k subscribers. So his team is lined up with Larmans, Maguire, Vardy, Calafiori, Bruno, Wirtz, Anderson, Sangare, Szoboszlai, Haaland and Calvert-Lewin. On the bench, Petrovic, Xhaka, Wright and Thomas. So double Man United defence, double Liverpool attack, and he's tripled up on Man City, so that's the core of the team right there. There's a big divide in chip strategy, interestingly, among all the FPL YouTuber teams. Bench boost Game Week 1, bench boost Game Week 2, or saving it for later. Fran is intending to use his in Game Week 2 with 2 commentary players on the bench, home to Hull. Xhaka's got Forest home. He's yet to be involved in a pre-season game for Liverpool, but assuming he's fine by Game Week 1, he looks nailed on given Leone's not been involved either, and Gomez will miss the start of the season. And he's got Petrovic, who's home to Everton in Game Week 2, so there's definite potential there on the bench boost. One thing that leapt out to me, and you might have spotted it as well, there's no João Pedro up front, who is the second most owned player in the entire game after Haaland. Fran is looking to probably wildcard in Game Week 4 and then bring João Pedro in. That's that week that Chelsea have got Hull home. They've got Fulham away game week 1, Brighton home game week 2, and then Arsenal away game week 3, and then it's the wildcard. So there is 2 reasonable games in the opening 3, and then 1 very tough one versus Arsenal. So it has got potential to take on that mass ownership, and it has allowed him to spread their money around his team more. It's got Haaland captain Bruno Weiss. Nice team from Fram. So let's take a look at the midfielders then. There is only 1 player across all positions with 100% ownership, and that is Szoboszlai. He's 47% owned overall. He's in 100% of the YouTuber teams. And then it's Bruno of 92%. And this surprised me a little bit. Gross comes in 3rd place. And then it's Lafay and Bumo, Foden, Palmer, Slater, Hughes, Cunha, Anderson, Sarr, Vert, Sangare, Semenyo and Tavernier. Now Gross is only 5.5 mil after all. He's got the set pieces, corners, possibly penalties. So he is a really useful pick as a 4th or a 5th midfielder. And he only eats up 1 million of the actual budget, given they've got to spend a minimum of 4.5 mil there. Like Bruno, on the other hand, uses up 7.5 million. Have any of you got 2 budget mids like Gross and Lafay? That can definitely work, especially since we've got so many at that price point. Like if one doesn't work out in the opening few game weeks, just hop to another one. Palmer missed Chelsea's last friendly with a minor issue. He's been doing some individual training with Colwill. Apparently it was just a knock from the Spurs game and left out as a precaution. We've got Slater, by far the most owned 4.5 mil mid. Just worth mentioning that Hull signing lots of players, competition, and although he is adored by Hull fans, signed for only 50 grand by the way, he won't be a nailed starter, probably lots of bench-ins. There's no 4.5 mil mids really. Hughes should get some minutes at the start of the season if Wharton's not back in time. Game's not gone anyway, like there's not many pure DEFCON picks in the most owned tables. They are still targeting those goal involvements. We've got Anderson and Sangare, both 12% owned. So let's have a look at the forwards and then we'll take a look at captaincy, chip, plan, formations and the template team. Haaland owned by all but 1 manager. FPL Tips is the one that doesn't have him in his team. The most expensive player in FPL history, but still not enough to put the majority off. João Pedro extremely highly owned as well, 84%. And then it's DCL in 3rd, 56%. 4.5 mil Destan in 4th, and then it's Wright, Thiago, Igor Jesus, Solanke, Gyökeres, Isak and Brobbey. Let's have a look at one final team. How's Andy lined up? Coming off the back of a top 1k finish as well. So he's on a 3-5-2 and he's gone Lamens, Vardiol, Calafiori, Maguire. In midfield, Anderson, Bruno, Szoboszlai, Wirtz, Gross, and up front, Haaland and Igor Jesus. So no João Pedro either. On the bench for Brugum, DCL, Aya and O'Shea. The big difference here compared to France is the bench boost is active for game week 1. It is one of those where bench boost 1 and bench boost 2 both look like they've got potential, and it's probably going to end up really swingy where like one smashes it or the other one does terribly. The thing with bench boost 2 is it generally involves 2 Coventry players minimum, so it is a gamble on them doing well. In my case, I've actually got 3 and looking at bench boost 2. But in fairness, playing Hull home is probably the most favourable fixture of the season. Bench boost 1 on the other hand has got that risk spread around like Andy's draft, like O'Shea, Sunderland home. If he does concede, no biggie. DCL could pop up with a goal. You know, Verbrugge might keep a clean sheet. Aya could shut Spurs out or hit DEFCON. It's 4 different fixtures. There is nothing inherently wrong with stacking on one fixture either though. Like for example, Andy has got double Liverpool attack. Stacking on teams is part of the game, it's just higher variance. Like if Coventry keep a clean sheet in game week 2 and some out there have got Rushworth, Thomas and Van Wijk on their bench, then your season is off to an absolutely flying start. Whereas it's less likely that all 4 players on Andy's bench potentially return in 4 different fixtures. So there's pros and cons for sure, but it's a great draft. So let's have a look at some other data points. The most popular formation is 3-4-3, more than twice as used as any other. And then it's 3-5-2, and then it's 4-4-2, and then 4-3-3. So yeah, 3 at the back is the most popular way to set up. More about chip strategy. 24% are bench boost in game week 1, 32% bench boost in game week 2, 44% not planning on a bench boost early on. Lots of talk in their content about game week 4 wildcard. Some are also weighing up a game week 3 free hit to triple up on Man City when they've got Coventry home, and you can hop off Arsenal or Chelsea players. They've got a fixture against one another in game week 3, and there's some other fixture swings like that you can take advantage of on a game week 3 free hit. Haaland, the most popular captain by far, 84%, Bruno 16%. No one else has got the armband in their teams. So, with that all in mind, what is the FPL YouTuber template? Using their 375 players selected, this is the highest owned team within budget. It's Kinski in goal, it's Vardiol, Calafiori and Shaw at the back. In midfield, Lefay, Bruno, Zobbo and Bumo and Gross. And up front it's Haaland and João Pedro. And it's a strong bench as well, which looks perfectly set up for a bench boost in Game Week 2. The bench is Petrovic, DCL, Van der Wijk and Thomas. So triple Man United, double Man City, double Coventry. If you'd like me to do another one of these near Game Week 1, let me know in the comments. I do read every comment. And hit subscribe so you don't miss out on pre-season content like this to help guide you. See you soon for the next one.